What's up everybody and welcome to the Fight Franchise and our recap and review of the co-main event of UFC 308 where Khamzat Chimaev successfully defeated Robert Whittaker in a one-round dominating performance where he smothered, battered and choked out and broke the jaw of Robert Whittaker. We're going to kind of recap the fight, the build-up of it, how it went and what we want to see for both guys going forward. So, Khamzat Chimaev, he's the real deal. The hype is back. The hype train is back. It seemed like after his close fight against Kamaru Usman, a lot of people, fell off, thought he was washed. He couldn't handle the division. Comes up against one of the best middleweights in the world and dispatched of him better than anyone has ever before, When you look at Israel Adesanya's first fight against him, done very well. Took 2 rounds to KO him, but he did kind of drop him at the end of the first round. If there was a couple of more seconds, probably put him away. You look at how Dricus did it. Dricus did it as a dominant avalanche kind of performance. But he didn't even get a lick of offense off against Khamzat Chimaev. His grappling is too good. And it's what I kind of predicted in my preview. I said Robert Whittaker has never ever faced a grappler the level of Khamzat Chimaev in this middleweight division. This middleweight division has been full of strikers and kind of stand-up fighters at the top of this division. He hasn't had that high-level grappling training that Khamzat Chimaev has. And Khamzat Chimaev, I knew, would just be able to get enough on that first round and bully him and submit in the first round. And I predicted that. So, how did the fight go? Khamzat Chimaev comes out as usual, first 15 seconds, shoots for a takedown, gets Rob against the fence, pins him down, trips him up, gets him to the ground, and he's on the back of Robert Whittaker. And he was very patient, Khamzat Chimaev was in his grappling. He was just waiting for Rob, fighting the hands and waiting for him to make mistakes, and was just kind of rolling with him patiently, weighing on the back of him, scaring Robert Whittaker. Because when Khamzat Chimaev's on your back, you're there like, oh my gosh, when's he going to try and get this choke in? You're worried that you're going to get choked out. And that's what he's doing against Robert Whittaker. And Rob's there like trying to fight the hands. And then he's just throwing knees and punches and kind of landing some offense here and there. And then slowly but surely, he gets the back and gets the hooks in against Whittaker. And Whittaker kind of survives the hooks. And then it's like coming towards the end of the fight where Chimaev throws a huge elbow to the jaw of Whittaker. And I don't know if this done the damage. And then he just kind of gets the choke, but he gets the face crank. And he just cinches it up. And then Rob just goes, tap, I'm done. And everyone, the commentary team, I was watching at home, everyone was just bizarrely like, what? The fight's over. Why is Rob tapped? The choke wasn't really in. It was barely squeezed. And Chimaev's won the fight, and we're all just looking quite bizarre. And Rob's kind of quite stunned and just like in a bit of pain and whatnot. And then it turns out after the fact, it's revealed that his front, like these 3 teeth here, have been crushed in. His jaw has just been completely fractured or broken. And it's like something, I've seen the picture and it makes me grimace. I'm not going to put it up. It is quite gross how he's broken Rob's jaw. And it just shows you the squeeze this guy and the pressure this guy can put on you when he's grappling is unbelievable. Credit to Khamzat Chimaev. The hype is well and truly real. A bit of kind of annoyance, struggling to make the weight. You've got to make championship weight if you want to fight for that title. He needs to fix up his nutrition. I feel like, ever since he's hit this like huge amount of success in his life, he's kind of been not off the rails, but just like eating good, eating at nice restaurants, not taking the training and the regimen and the lifestyle of a champion. He's been kind of lackadaisical, getting involved in crypto and all this nonsense. Focus on fighting. Fighting's your bread and butter at the end of the day. And you want to be the best fighter in the world. You want to be the champion. You've got to act like a fighter. You know what I mean? I'm not saying don't make money outside of fights with your endorsements and sponsors. Just cut it down with the nutrition, kind of be focused in your training regimen. But fantastic win for Khamzat Chimaev. Dominant, drown Robert Whittaker like no one has ever done before. Submits him with ease, breaks his jaw. This is a scary force at the top of the division. You got guys like Adesanya who are pure strikers. Strickland, apparently, him and Khamzat have sparred before, and Khamzat was just ragdolling him and submitting him left, right, and centre. Champion at the moment is Dricus Du Plessis. How would Khamzat fare against someone like Dricus Du Plessis? I think Dricus has enough physicality coming the other way that he can try and he could stuff the takedowns. It would be Khamzat Chimaev. He wouldn't be able to bully Dricus. He would have to use technique, to kind of get Dricus to the ground and kind of submit him, because Dricus is a very, very physical fighter, and he takes his life seriously. He has the life of an athlete, nutrition on point, training on point, strength and conditioning on point, whereas Khamzat Chimaev doesn't. So it's that Dricus Du Plessis has hard work and he has relatively decent talent. Khamzat Chimaev has a lot of talent, but he's lacking in the hard work department. So it is that versus that. What's going to win? If Khamzat Chimaev can get the hard work in, put in the hard sparring rounds, get that nutrition on point, get the cardio on point, he could be a nightmare matchup for Dricus, because he can take down Dricus, and if he does, if I was going to go against Dricus, I'd probably go for a single leg than a double leg, because Dricus is just very weird. He always just kind of stumbles around and trips around. You see him in fights. He's coordinated, but not coordinated. He's a bizarre fighter. If you can get a single leg, trip him up, trips would be key against Dricus, and he gets him down. That's Khamzat Chimaev's ball game. But if you can't survive against Dricus, that physicality, he's the best momentum-based fighter in the UFC. I've said it on multiple occasions. He can turn the fight around in the space of 30 seconds, and then it's like an avalanche snowball effect, which is hard to stop with that physicality coming the other way. So, credit to Khamzat Chimaev. He deserves a world title shot. Also, because at middleweight, there's not really many other contenders. Izzy's just lost. It's going to be a rematch most likely. I think it'll be the headliner at UFC 312 in Sydney. I think they'll do Dricus Du Plessis defending his world title against Sean Strickland. Just the annoying thing for Strickland, unless they do Khamzat at UFC South Africa versus Dricus Du Plessis, but I don't think they'll do that. I think he'll turn around probably for the Abu Dhabi card next year as well, which is a huge long wait, but it depends how bad Dricus is after the Sean Strickland fight. But that's the fight to book going forward. Khamzat Chimaev versus the winner of Strickland Du Plessis 2. And book that as soon as possible. Don't waste time and get Khamzat in that title fight. As for Robert Whittaker, unlucky for Robert Whittaker. It's sad to see someone like him lose. In the manner he did, he was having one stellar year. Paulo Costa, Nasruddin Imavov. If he would have beat Khamzat Chimaev, what a year he would have put together to get back in that title. It's just like, take a year off from fighting, get that jaw fixed. It's just a shame now. Like, I feel like it's the generation that's just gone, the best of the generation before are just slowly coming to an end. And kind of, we've seen Gilbert Burns getting battered. Usman's losing. Edwards has just lost. Volker's lost. Max has lost. That generation before, the greats of that generation, their time is coming to an end, unfortunately. And I just think for Robert Whittaker, he's, when you look at him and you think, who should he fight next? He's beaten nearly all these guys. The only guys I can't think he hasn't beaten is someone like Nasruddin Imavov, maybe. But, or maybe give him, in the future, Shara Magomedov, who had a brilliant spinning back fist win. Not to sound brutal, but build that star off the back of Whittaker's name. But yeah, unlucky for Bobby Knuckles. Maybe a year off, recover, and then get back into the octagon in some big super fights as well. Give Robert Whittaker a huge fight in Australia. Put him on an Australia card. Let him get that hometown reception. Off the top of my head, I genuinely don't think since UFC 243, Robert Whittaker has fought in Australia, which is such a shame. Because if one guy deserves it, that guy deserves it. Especially give him that huge hometown reception. He deserves to fight on a Australia card. And presumably so, they've done 2 Australia cards. Was it last year? I think they did 2 Australia cards. I don't think they've done 2 this year. But if they do 2 next year, get Bobby Knuckles on an Australia card. More than deserves it. But credit to Khamzat Chimaev. The hype is well and truly back. The hype is well and truly real. Get that title shot for him next year. Dana White, don't waste the time. And let's see if he can become champion. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more MMA fight content coming soon. Do you think Khamzat Chimaev deserves the title shot? Do you think Khamzat Chimaev put on the best performance of the year? I think that is one of the best performances of the year. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more MMA fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoyed the video and we'll catch you in the next one.